Okay, now we're going to show you the difference between importing a Word file that does not contain any styles that the InDesign file already has in place based on the design template that was previously designed and approved with colors and fonts and images and what kind of bullet we want and all kinds of stuff like that. So a lot of that is being done at the same time that the book is being written or finishing up. So it's kind of, there are two things happening kind of at the same time in an ideal world, and using the Word file that has the style codes that the InDesign file has will help when the two meet and they come together. So if you kind of look through here, you're going to see a lot of the same styles that we just talked about in here. So we've got all of our styles ready to go. And what we're going to do is I'm ready to import a Word file. So I'm going to go ahead and get a Word file. And I'm going to start with the one without styles. And you see what happens. It looks like a mess. It has this because that's the text. But if you look at the style, what it does is it brings in with it all of these styles that I don't use. So title, but technically that should be chapter title. Heading 1. So technically that should be H1. This is normal, and that should be TX, and that should be TX, and H2, and all of this. Now, I could just delete all of these and change them into whatever it is that they're supposed to be, but as I'm laying it out, I usually have the Word file on one screen and the InDesign file on my other screen. So I kind of like to go at the same time, like, okay, does everything look right? And if I do a global replace, I don't know, it makes me a little nervous. Plus, right here, where we've got list paragraph, I wouldn't know how to globally change that. So in this case, BL1, I would have to go BL1, and then BL, and then BLX, and then that kind of screwed that up, and then, there we go. And then this would be TX, and that, I missed that one, that would be TX, H3, would be H3, where did H3 go? Do I not have an H3? Yeah, there it is. TX, okay. Heading 2, H2, yikes. Okay, there we go. And moving on. Production directive. Okay. Let's go down here to our numbered list. So NL1, NL, NLX. Notice that because you guys used, or notice why there's no number here, is because we used the automatic numbered list function in Word. So I have to actually type the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3, okay, to get that going on. And then up here with the bulleted list, I'm not sure why the L didn't come in, but the L should come in and I should be able to use what I call a character style. And this is something unique just to, that's a whole other topic, but I can just, if that L would have come through, I can just highlight that and make that a bullet, and then I can, there, that helps. So anyway, so that's kind of that. We can get into character styles at another time, but right now we're just trying to get our heads wrapped around why we need these style codes in Word and how it helps. NO head, NO. Okay, production directive H3. Let's see, H3, TX, tip, 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 tip. Where's my tip, tip? Tip head. Tip, 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 tip. Where did tip? Oh, there it is. Okay, there's a couple TXs in a row, so that's helpful. Warning head. I mean, you get the idea. So, oh, right here, we'll go ahead and, let's just go ahead and get through this. We'll suffer through, right? Okay, now we're at our step bullets. So I'm going to make that my SB1 and my SB and my SBX. And then there's a note or a text, TX. Now here's our single. So we should have a SB single. And see how it automatically adds the space above and below. And you can see the, let me move this down. You can see here the SB1 has space above and it has space below for the SBX. So you see how that's styled there, SBX, SB1. And again, for the numbered lists, if that was an NL, let's just say, now that didn't change a whole lot, but sometimes in a particular design, there could be a significant difference based on that. There's H2 that we missed. Text is good. There's a text. Production directive. Okay. Production directive. Okay. Warning. WA head. WA, where is that? There it is. H2, okay. That's a production directive, I missed that. Okay, so I think, now don't really look at the design, it's not that fabulous, but gives you the idea. I'm going to talk about the character style again real quick. In a lot of times, a lot of books, we have a design element where we make the number look different than the actual rest of the numbered list. And that's where another character style can come into play. So when I'm looking for numbered lists, I can just go into the character style and highlight that like as such. So those are the things that I want to be more concentrating on, are the little designy elements that are a little bit unique. I don't want to have to worry about restyling a paragraph or changing a style to something else, or trying to figure out if something got stripped out. And this is not 100%. Nothing is ever 100%, but it certainly does help. So let me show you the difference in how much time that took. So we're going to delete all of that, and we're ready for our next chapter. So we're going to bring in with special style codes. There we go. Well, looky there. They just pretty much popped right in there. So here I can go in and I can go to my character style and say BL. BL. Gotta highlight it. And we're moving on. Now I get to my numbered list. NL. 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 Look, my notes and stuff are already there. So if for some reason we needed them to have a background or we needed to do something a little bit different to them, they're already styled. So let's say that we were going to put this note in a box, in a special color box. So and we would have determined this already at some point in the design, but let's just say that this is going to happen, and I want to make it and then we'd have to do some finagling around to make sure it all fit in there. But at any rate, you can see this, like this behind the box color and everything, it would have already been predetermined based on the design. So I would have just had to place it, continue on the text box inside there like I did, and then keep moving on and laying out the book. But you can see there's a lot less work that I have to do in touching basically every paragraph. And that's where, we all get a little nervous when each paragraph is like touched. So now in this case for the sidebar, this would be a little image. I don't think I have an image like to put in there right now, but the concept would be it would be a design element that would be replacing that SB, but that SB tells me, hey, I need something here. So, all right. And then, of course, with the design, then we would go in and change all this stuff. So that's pretty much it. So I hope that has helped you see the reason why it's important to do all that up front, whether it be you or Jennifer or me or Patty, whoever. It's just helpful when it comes to the actual layout process to make it go a little bit more streamlined and reduce, the chance for error. So if you have any questions, obviously be sure to ask. And the last thing I want you to do is be stressed about it. So please don't stress about it. It's not, it's not the end of the world if that gets slipped in here as an heading 1. No big deal. So anyway, well, thanks for listening. And again, I hope I've educated you a little bit on the reason behind it. So thank you.